All right, today we're diving into a really fascinating approach for one of the wildest markets you can trade, silver. We're going to break down the Silverzz trading strategy, which is a method designed to bring some serious discipline to an asset that's, well, notoriously unpredictable. Okay, let's get right into it. And that really is the million-dollar question when you're talking about silver, isn't it? Its price can swing like crazy, and honestly, it scares a lot of people off. But what if? What if that chaos, that very volatility, could actually be harnessed? What if it wasn't just a risk, but a real structured opportunity? So here's the game plan. We'll start by really getting a handle on silver's unique personality. Then we'll unpack the whole silver's philosophy and the actual step-by-step strategy. And this is crucial. We'll spend some real time on how to manage your risk. And finally, we'll talk about what your first move could look like. Okay, Section 1. Look, before you can even think about using a strategy, you've got to know the lay of the land. You have to understand the battlefield. And with silver, that battlefield is pretty intense. You know, this slide really captures the two faces of silver perfectly. On one side, you've got the allure, right? It's been a store of value for ages, it's essential for industry, and man, it has the potential for these explosive moves upward. But on the other side of that coin is the risk. That same potential for huge gains comes with these sharp, unpredictable swings that can absolutely wipe out a trader who isn't prepared. This is the exact problem that the Silverzz strategy is built to solve. So how do you handle that? How do you trade something so two-faced? Well, that brings us to Section 2, the mindset. This is a philosophy that's designed to turn that volatility from a threat into a tool you can actually use. At its heart, the Silverzz philosophy is all about one thing: taking emotion out of the equation. We're talking fear, greed, hope, all that stuff that gets traders into trouble. Instead, you have a system, a set of rules. The goal isn't to be a psychic and predict the future. It's to have a concrete plan that tells you exactly what to do with risk management as the #1 absolute top priority. And these principles, man, they really nail the mindset. You're not trying to guess where silver will be a year from now. You're trying to capitalize on the smaller, short-term wiggles. And the whole thing works because you have discipline, because you always know your maximum loss before you even think about clicking buy, and because you tune out the noise, the headlines, the social media hype, and you just follow your system, period. All right, so we get the philosophy. Now let's get into the weeds, the actual mechanics. This section is the practical, step-by-step guide for how you actually do this. So the main tool in the toolbox here is something called the moving average crossover. Now, don't let the name freak you out. It's actually pretty simple. Imagine you have two lines on your chart. One tracks the average price over a short period, and the other tracks it over a longer period. When that fast line crosses up and over the slow line, it can be a signal that momentum is shifting upwards, and the opposite is true if it crosses down. It's just a simple visual trigger. And what's so powerful is how these steps create a full battle plan. First, you zoom out, get the big picture trend. Are we generally heading up or down? Then you wait patiently for your entry signal, that crossover we just talked about. Step 3 is like a critical safety check. You use another tool just to make sure you're not about to buy at the absolute peak or sell at the very bottom. And then step 4, this is arguably the most important step of all. You decide where you'll get out, both for a loss and for a profit, before you risk a single penny. Only then, once all that is done, do you execute the trade and just let your plan do its thing. Which brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important part of this whole thing. Seriously, you can have the world's best entry signal, but if you don't master your risk, you won't be in this game for long. This is all about survival. This quote just nails the professional mindset. It's not about hitting that one home run trade that makes you rich. It's about consistently making good decisions and protecting your capital so you can show up and trade again tomorrow. Good process leads to good results over time. Just chasing money, well, that leads to bad emotional mistakes. If you remember just one number from this whole explainer, please let it be this one, 2%. That's it. It means if you have, say, $1,000 in your trading account, you never, ever risk more than $20 on any one idea. This rule is what ensures that one bad trade, or even 5 bad trades in a row, can't knock you out of the game. And it's so important to know where this kind of strategy fits into your financial life. This is not for your retirement savings. A system like this belongs in the speculative slice of your portfolio, that small part you've set aside for higher risk, higher reward ideas, totally separate from your boring long-term investments. These right here, these are the non-negotiables. A stop loss is your automatic eject button. It gets you out when your idea is proven wrong. You set it, and you don't mess with it, unless you're moving it closer to lock in profit. And remember this, when your stop loss gets hit, you didn't fail. The system worked. It did its most important job. It protected your capital. Okay, we've covered the why, the what, and the how. Let's wrap this up by boiling this whole strategy down to its most essential, must-remember takeaway. This is it. This is the whole thing in a nutshell. Forget the crystal ball. Success in a market this wild is about having a repeatable process, being absolutely relentless about managing your risk, and just executing your plan with discipline, day in and day out. You're playing the probabilities, not trying to be a fortune teller. So there you have it, the Silverzz strategy. It's a framework, a set of rules for navigating one of the market's toughest arenas. The system gives you the plan, but the discipline to actually follow it, well, that's on you. The real question isn't whether silver is going to go up or down. The question is, how will you be prepared to act when it does?